Welcome to our live stream webinar. We have invited two speakers who are very proficient in the field of mathematics. But before I present them to you, let me share with you the IGP mission, vision, and core values. The mission is to provide learners, pre-service teachers with solid foundation of knowledge, skills, and the right attitude and help them become confident learners and educators. The vision is to continuously grow, expand, and provide quality and excellent service, specifically education, to every learner, pre-service educator around the world. And for the core values, the IGP upholds integrity, righteousness, honesty in serving, bounded with principles and high standard of the social work profession, particularly the values of self-determination, empowerment, and respect of diversity. That is the cornerstone of IGP. Let me call our first speaker. He is a public school teacher and serves 6 years in the Department of Education, Philippines. He graduated cum laude from Tarlac University, finished his master's degree, major in educational leadership at St. LaSalle University, a certified Google Educator 1. His topic is teaching mathematics through mobile application simulation. Sir Manuelito C. Montoya. Welcome, sir.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Just a moment. I will share my screen to everyone. Hi, guys. Good evening and welcome to our webinar session. My topic tonight is the application of mobile devices. Okay, I will just open my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, my topic tonight will focus on the use of mobile applications and simulations in teaching mathematics. Just a disclaimer, I am an elementary school teacher, so most of the materials that I will be sharing are more applicable to elementary be used by high school students. But don't worry, because the next topic is the use of calculator in teaching mathematics. This is for high school teachers, so everybody can benefit to this webinar. Now, first, I'm going to show you this link. This link is a URL where you can access the documents, where you can find the link. I will be presenting the materials just in case you want to check them out or use in your class. So you can screen capture this one or you can write it. It's http://bit.ly/IGP math. Okay. The main objective of this session is for you to learn the various mobile applications and simulations in teaching mathematics and maximize the use of mobile applications and simulations in teaching mathematics for you to be able to provide engaging and authentic learning experience to your children. Okay, when we say mobile applications, these are applications that are designed to run using mobile applications. Most of the time, we use them in social media and with miscellaneous activities such as bank transactions and online shopping. But apart from that, we can also use these mobile applications in creating educational experience to our children. The next one are simulations. Simulations is the imitation of process in a real world using a model. It's difficult to create simulations and it is expensive, but today with the use of technology, we can do simulations using mobile applications and laptop. And later, I will show you different types of simulations that you can download for free and you can use in your classrooms. Now, sources of mobile applications and simulations, where we can get materials such as mobile applications and simulations. We have different sources depending on what you use inside the classroom. Okay, so if you are using Android devices, you can find mobile applications in Google Play. Meanwhile, if you are using Apple products, you can find different applications in App Store. Most of the time, the Google applications that are present in Google Play have counterpart in App Store, but we have richer options in Google Play. Now, if you are using tablets or devices that has Microsoft OS, you can also get materials from Microsoft Store. And then when it comes to simulations, we can get simulations from FET Sims or the FET interactive simulations that can be run using your mobile devices and your computer. And then if you are using Huawei devices, you can get these mobile applications and simulations at APK Pure or Huawei App Gallery, since Huawei devices do not have Google Play, but still they run Android materials. Now, how to utilize mobile applications? We have two options. The first one is on your online classes. The other one is a supplementary digital learning material. For your online classes, you can incorporate mobile applications by using the BlueStack. Okay, this is an Android emulator where you can run mobile applications on your computer, and you can get it for free at www.bluestacks.com. This link is also included in the URL I presented earlier. And then if you want to run mobile applications to your laptop and your computer is not able to use BlueStacks, you can play your mobile applications at Microsoft Store. You can download applications here. So if you are using Windows 10, just open Microsoft Store and search for the materials that you would like to use. Most of the time, the materials that are present in Google Play can also be found at Microsoft Store. So just create an account and then you can access this store on your Windows devices. And then you can also use mobile applications as supplementary digital learning material. One mistake in using mobile applications is that we feel that if there's no internet, we were not able to share this to our students. But with the use of sharing applications using apps such as the Share It and Bluetooth, we can still share this to our students and they can use them offline. Because most of the materials that I will be presenting tonight do not require internet connection, and it requires little training for parents and teachers and even students to use. And then right here for supplementary digital learning material, you can also ask your students to directly download this from Play Store, App Store, or Huawei App Gallery, just in case they have internet connection. But I also understand that not all our students have internet connection. So if that, just use offline sharing apps such as Share It and Bluetooth. Okay. Now, the question is, why mobile applications and simulations? Well, this pandemic affected the way we provide instruction to our students, as majority of the schools worldwide suspended face-to-face instruction. So because of this crisis aggravated what we call educational inequalities due to factors such as learning difficulties and socioeconomic status. This pandemic also revealed how fragile our education system. It is therefore crucial that the creativity and innovation that this crisis stimulated be leveraged to make education more inclusive, just, and resilient. So because of that, we need to be able to maximize the use of learning outside the classroom. And one way of doing that is by incorporating technology. And when we speak of technology, not everyone has access on it. This is extra difficult for countries who have unstable internet connection, and majority of the students do not have laptop. But we can always work on the materials that are readily available, such as mobile devices. Although not all students have mobile devices, but it is certain that maybe one member of the family or household has one device that a child can use. Mobile applications are using artificial intelligence, which makes them autonomous materials. The good news is these mobile applications, they require little training for parents and teachers and to our students to be used. And most importantly, children are physiologically conditioned to interact with these materials. So it only requires little training for them to master certain skills using these materials. And they feel like that they are just playing, but at the same time, unconsciously, they are learning also. So right now, I will present to you different types of mobile applications that you can use in teaching mathematics. Okay, but before I'll start, I have to turn off my camera because I need to use the camera for certain applications. I need to use my web camera in order for these applications to work. So I just have to turn off my camera. Just a moment. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with my presentation. Okay, mobile applications in teaching mathematics. The first application that I'm going to show you is the 3D shapes augmented reality. Okay, so let me go ahead and open it. You can download these applications right away, guys. Just type in the name 3D shapes AR on your Google Play or in your App Store. So I'm going to click on the application. Okay, this program is educational and use augmented reality. It shows 11 three-dimensional shapes, cubes, sphere, square, pyramid, tetrahedron, and a lot more. Okay, so the moment you use it, all you have to do is to read the caution. Since this is using augmented reality, there is a need for a parental supervision to avoid physical hazard. So just click OK. So after doing that, you need to first download the markers. Okay, we need to follow the following instructions. We need to download the markers. So just click on the link and you will be redirected to a file that will be opened using Google Doc, using Google Slides, should I say. And then you can open the markers and print them out. The markers looks like this. Okay, just simply print out the markers. Now, if your students do not have printers, you can provide them these markers. So after printing it, just go back to the application and go to instruction number 2. Place the marker facing the device camera and choose from the main menu. So just click play right here and your camera will automatically open. Now, our interface here is very simple. You have the menu, you have the color, you have the name, you have the vertex, the edges, and the faces. Now, what you have to do is hover the marker to the camera. This is not the way it should work. This is better if you lay it flat on a surface and let your children use the material. But right now, for online purposes, or if you want to, if you want to incorporate this to your online classes, you can do this. Although it's and show them the name of the material. So this is a pentagon. Okay. So after that, you have other options like this one. You can show how many vertices this 3D figure has. And then when you click on the edges, it will also show the number of edges and the number of faces. The competency they can learn here are very important for the prerequisite skills in understanding volume, area, and surface area. Okay, so this is the 3D shapes AR. There is also another application, the 2D shapes AR, just works the same with the 3D shapes area. It's just that the materials you can see right there are 2D shapes. Okay, so you can go ahead and check this material and incorporate this to your subjects. Now let's move on to the next material because I have 17 applications I think that I'm going to show you tonight, and I only have 1 hour, so I'm not going to go into details. You can explore them yourselves. Okay, the next one is the arithmetic operations. So we have 4 applications here wherein you can train your students in understanding basic arithmetic operations. We have the long division, the multiplication, the addition, and the subtraction. Well, these applications will teach you how to do a long division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So I'm just going to open one of them because they have the same interface. Now, this application is a smart application. It tries to understand your mistakes and give you appropriate indications. So just like this one, the long division, it is a fundamental concept of math. It includes the division, of course, but also the multiplication, the subtraction, and the multiplication tables, all math operations. Mastering the long division means mastering all these techniques of math. And this is important for elementary students. Now, the application proposes 2 modes, the training and the learning mode. In the learning mode, the application shows you how to do the long division step by step. So each step of the math exercise is explained and detailed. And then you can also choose the division to do. So you have the choice if it's gonna generate for you, or you can choose the operands. This is good because they can contextualize the material they are using at the moment. Like if they have module or they have activity sheet, they can train here. So they can decide for the dividend, let's say you have 12 here, and for the divisor, you have 3. They can just go ahead and learn how to divide this. Okay, the material will help them by providing them instruction. They just have to watch, and the material will answer it for them by by letting them show the step-by-step procedure. Okay, such as this. So after learning it, they can now move on to the, just a moment. Okay, just a moment because it has ads on it, and we cannot avoid this, guys. Okay, so after learning it, the concept of long division, they can now proceed to the training mode. So this application detects the mistakes such as forgetting the carry. It gives you indications if you need all along math exercises. So right here, so once they are done with the learning mode, they can now try it themselves. Okay, they can choose their operands let let the material generate operands for them. So in this case, let's try 12 divided by 4. Okay, and then just go. So as you can see here, the child has options. Now, if the child happened to forget how to divide, it will show step-by-step procedure on top. But let's go ahead and try this one. Okay, this is 0. Because there, right now there is a certain bug happening here because I'm using a blue stack. But let's try another one. This one. Okay, just go. So 6 and 36. So if a child don't know how to divide this one, what's gonna happen is how many times does 6 go into 36? So you can go ahead and use that procedure, and then 6 times 6, that's 36, and then it will show you what is the next operation. But it has ads. Just a moment. Okay, it has ads because we cannot avoid that because we are using the free version. So we just have to subtract this. And then it will show you the score. The score is based on the time answered the the given operands. Okay, so that is the long division. This is a great way to help our students how to do arithmetic operations. So apart from the long division, we also have the multiplication, the addition, and the subtraction. I'm not going to go further in here because they have the same interface. You can check it yourselves how they work. Okay, now next, just a reminder, even though the students do not have internet connection, these materials would still work. It just so happened that right now I'm connected to the internet. That is why it shows different ads, and we cannot avoid that because we are taking advantage of the free version of the apps. Okay, the next one is the kids math learning. Here it is. So the kids math learning application is designed for your kids to learn many math items. So setting will help you to define minimum and maximum numbers limit as per your kid age. So this one, the idea here is the gamification, wherein we try to apply game elements to non-game contexts. Because normally our students answer their math problems using paper and pencil. But this one, it is gamified. So they are playing at the same time they are learning. Okay? So it has different competencies from counting, addition of numbers, subtraction, multiplication, division, comparing numbers, ordering numbers, skip counting, and multiplication table. So you can choose the activity or the level of the child. If they already master addition, they can go ahead and proceed to subtraction. So this material will help them answer different subtraction problems. Okay, and then also choose other operations such as this one in division and other practices that can help them master all the competencies involved here. So I'm not going to go ahead and open all the activities that they can do here because it's just a simple game that even your own kids can explore. And and this webinar, by the way, is not just for the teachers. If you happen to be a parent, you can also let your children use these materials while they are studying at home during their free time. But always remember that giving them activities like this, everything is good in moderation. Okay? So this is the kids math learning app. The next one is the math games. Now, the idea of math games is just the same with the kids math learning. It's just that in here, there are additional competencies. They can square numbers here, and then they can also deal with decimal numbers. So this is great for grades 4 to 6, and also for adults who have difficulty in numeracy. Okay? What's good about this application, by the way, is apart from practices, they can also collaborate with their family members because it has such as this one, where if they are using a mobile phone device, they can play it along with their family members. So it's a game and it's more interactive.
Come a little closer cause you look get thirsty. I'ma make it better, sip it like it's Slurpee. No, don't.
Okay, once again, we are taking advantage of the free version of this application, so we cannot avoid that. And then they can also play with their friends, they can take tests, and then if they want to challenge themselves, they can go ahead and do this here with timer. Okay, so let's say they will answer. Okay, and then they will move to the next one. So these are just simple games that we can use as icebreaker during our online lessons. If you have BlueStacks emulators such as this one, you can incorporate this as drills, okay? But if not, you can go ahead and recommend this to the parents or send them out using offline sharing apps to your students. So this is the math game. Now, the next one is the elementary math. Now, the elementary math was created to assist parents and teachers in teaching their kids elementary level math. So this app was designed for K to 5, okay? And the level of students includes easy, medium, hard. Okay, this is the difficulty for each grade level. So this app is colorful and designed with elementary math learners in mind. The app does not collect or store any user data, and it does not allow users to communicate with each other. So included throughout the app are questions that will help to teach addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and further comparisons. Okay, so here, let's say you will pick your grade level, and then you select the difficulty, and then just go ahead and play with the material. It's just very simple. They just have to answer it. And what's good about this is it provides feedback. Okay, after answering it, the app will provide feedback to them if it's correct or not. Of course, if it is not correct, the child can easily reflect why it is wrong. Okay, it's just a simple app. But if we expose our students with these applications for like 1 hour every day, definitely they can master different skills. And this is applicable for kinder to grade 5. They can choose their level of difficulty, because we're not just concerned with the students who are left behind. We are also concerned with the students who needed to improve and excel more in what they are capable of. Okay, this is the elementary math. It's a simple game, but it's helpful if you expose your students or children here repeatedly. Okay, and then right here, the next application is the math tricks. Okay, the math tricks is for students who can analyze problems. If they want to improve their mathematical skills, this is not for beginner students. So they can select what type of game they'd like to play. So let's say it's a single game. They can choose the level of difficulty. For mini challenge, it has 1 minute. For speed challenge, it has 20 items here. And for no time limit, they can they can spend as much the time they want to answer certain problems here. Okay, so let's click on this to the bitter end. 88 divided by 8. So this is division. Okay, now if a child don't know the answer to this particular number sentence, they can go ahead and see what is the trick in answering this one. So in here, 88 divided by 11. So it will provide steps on how to simply divide these types of material, such as this one, 100. The first step is 112 divided by 7 equals 16. So what happened here is 70 equals 10 divided by, multiplied by 7. So this is 112. So 112 is greater than 70. So 112 minus 70 is 42. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So 6 plus 10 equals 16. That's how you're going to get the answer. But apart from the tricks, there are also other items here wherein, like exponential notations, it will show them the tricks on how they can answer exponential notations correctly. Okay, so this is to improve the way they deal with mathematical problems. Now, this is the matrix. Now let's explore other applications. The next one is the complete mathematics. So just click start. So complete mathematics is an app that covers basic and high school math in a simple way. It categorizes different aspects of math in such a way that you can pick up what you plan to learn and start learning. So gone are the days when most people complain about learning mathematics. This app has solved the problem. So it has math tutorials here, which includes different topics for high school students. Okay. And then apart from that, this app also has the different math formulas that you can use. They can study them. Like, for example, you provide this material to your students. They can use this offline. and then just designate what particular topic they need to read for that particular day, and they can do the readings here. So it's like an ebook, but at the same time it has calculators such as scientific calculator and a graphic calculator that they can use in their activities if they are using modules or activity sheets. It also has math dictionary. Okay, so when they click on this, it's going to show the meaning of that particular term. But apart from that, they can also practice here. Okay, it has different games like the tricky math. So it has different levels: sequence guess trick, prime number guess trick, and age calculation. They just have to pick here the different activities and answer them. So of course, whatever they learned from the app
Did you know that 30%
will
of
be
people
part
learn better
of
by
the
listening rather than
activities
reading?
they will
Get smarter in
perform.
15 minutes with Blinkist.
Okay, so that's it.
Did you know that 30% of people learn better by listening
Some
rather
more.
than reading?
Get smarter in 15 minutes with Blinkist.
Okay, so it has a statistic converter and a lot more. And then the creator of this application also has different apps that the students can download. So they can download this, like this one for science subject. Okay, so this is the complete mathematics. Next, we have the math formulas. Okay, the math formula it's like an ebook wherein it will provide the students different formula in algebra, in geometry, in trigonometry, in calculus, and a lot more. And then what's good about it is like a syllabus. It is structured from the simplest to the most difficult. Okay. So they can also do practice like this one. These are formula for factoring formulas. And then after understanding the formulas, they can do practice exercises here. And then after learning all the apps, they can also navigate it and perform the quizzes. Now you have the option here to remove the ad, but if you but it will but it will demand you for additional payment. But still, all the free applications available is a great tool that our students can use even if they will not gonna buy the free app. Okay, so this is the math formula for them to memorize and understand the different formulas in algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus. Next, we have the math riddles and puzzles math games. By the way, all the materials that I'm presenting right now are available in Google Play. Okay, so math riddles level up your IQ with a mix of logical puzzles. So you can challenge yourself with different levels of math games and stretch the limits of your mind. So brain games are prepared with an approach of an IQ test. So this particular game, if you expose your students repeatedly with this, they can definitely improve their mathematical skills. So let's look for different levels, such as this one. So as you can see here, this particular activity is a riddle. So this square is equals to 8. So therefore, this is 4, and then this circle is, both circles are equal to 10. Since there are two circles here, this is 5, okay? And this is 11. Therefore, the triangle is 8. Okay, let me try again. Just a moment. So this is 4, and then this is 10. So this is 5. So this is 6, but I'm so sorry. Okay, and then just enter the answer that way. So if they will be exposed with this math riddles all the time, definitely their IQ will improve. At the same time, their skills in math will improve. So all questions can be solved by basic and complex mathematical operations taught at school. Only interesting addition, subtraction, multiplication, and divisions. So addition and subtraction are usually sufficient for complex and cognitive solutions. Cognitive riddles are the kind that will attract the attention of intelligent and intellectual children. Okay, so this is the math riddles. Now, the next app is the Math Kids. Probably Math Kids is my most favorite app.
Hi,
in my
I'm
classroom.
Ruby. It's RUBY. Ruby.
Okay, the reason why this
Let's
app
learn
is meant to be
math.
shared with all the teachers throughout the world because they have their story. The story of this app is that it is created to provide equal opportunities to all children around the globe, and this material are provided for free. They do not have any ads, okay? Because the mission is to share this material to all children. Now, the Math Kids has different competencies from counting, comparing numbers, adding puzzles, subtracting puzzles, adding fun, subtracting fun, quiz, addition practice, and subtraction practice. And it has
Hi,
great
I'm
appeal
Ruby.
because the characters are very appealing to
Learn
children
to count.
and they are very interactive. Okay? Such as
One.
this one. So if your students are preschoolers or grade 1 students, this is a perfect app for them. It doesn't have ad, so it doesn't have any in-app purchases.
One. One fish.
Okay? Imagine if your children can master the skills before they finish their preschooling or as grade 1 students, definitely they will be ready for the competencies ahead in
Ruby.
other grades. Okay, and you select the language that it has, and then it has parental control, so they cannot download and access certain part of the apps because they need to enter the number shown below to access it. So this is for grown-ups, just for grown-ups. So it has restrictions at the same time. Okay, and then you can also explore other apps of this app provider. It has a lot of apps, not just in mathematics, but also for this one for reading, teaching alphabets, how to write numbers, and how to perform multiplication practices. Now, let me go ahead and close this. Now, the next app I'm going to show you is the Imagine Math. Now, the Imagine Math is an application where it provides different activities to children. It's just quizzes, okay? But the good thing about here is it's structured, and there are a lot of competencies that we can incorporate to our lessons, from numbers up until data handling and temperature. So imagine if your students can master all of this by doing this, by doing it with this application. So let's go to addition and subtraction. So under addition and subtraction, it has other competencies such as this addition, but it has other available activities here, like read and write numbers. You can start on quiz. So after that, after choosing the answer, it will show you an explanation. So if you are dealing with other operations, like for example, addition, it will show you a step-by-step procedure on how to answer addition. So if you choose competency like fraction, it will also show you the step-by-step procedure in answering fractions. Okay? So this is the Imagine Math 5. Then the next app is this one, the fraction step-by-step. In my class, one of the competencies that is left behind is the competencies in fraction, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of fractions. I don't know, but when you say fraction, students are afraid of it. And sometimes even some teachers don't know how to teach fraction correctly. That's why they avoid these topics. So this one is not a calculator. It's not a fraction calculator. So your students can input here different operands. They can choose their operands like 1 and 1/2. Okay. So this is the whole number. This is the numerator, and this is the denominator. So 1 and 1/2 plus 3 1/3. Let's say this one. And then just click equals here. Now, particular application will help the student solve this problem step by step. So when we add mixed number, the first thing that you need to do is to convert it into improper fraction first. So this application will show the child how to do that. So in this case, we need to multiply the denominator and the whole number and then add the numerator. So in this case, 2 times 1, that's 2, plus 1, and the answer is 2. Okay, 2 times 1, that's 2, plus 1, 3. Okay, and then it will now show the same operation on the next operand. So it's 3 times 3, that's 9, plus 1, 10. Okay, after doing that, it will now proceed to the next step. The next step is the cross multiplication. So 3 times 3, that's 9. And then you multiply both denominator, 2 times 3, that's 6. And in here, cross multiplication, 10 and 2, that's 20. And then 2 times 3, that's 6. And then in here, since they are now similar fractions, we can add them. 9 plus 20, that's 29 over 6. And the next thing we will do is divided by 6. So how many 6 can fit into 29? So the answer is 4. So now what's going to happen is this improper fraction will now be converted into a mixed number, and that is the final answer. So 6 times 4, that's 24, minus 29, that is 5. So as you can see here, this application performed the operation and fraction step by step. Okay, it will help the child how to perform it correctly. So apart from addition, you can also perform different operations using the app. You can perform addition, you can perform subtraction, multiplication, and division. So technically, this app will cover all the operations on fractions. Okay, this is the fraction step by step. And then the next one is this one, the fast math. Okay, I do not use this when I provide instruction to my students, but I use this when I do drills. And right now, we cannot monitor our students in doing drills because there's no face-to-face instruction. What we can do is to provide them these materials. You can let them download this and be part of their routine every day at home. So that way they can perform drill and they can repeatedly exercise with the different activities here. So let's say their activity is addition.
Off overtime, effective.
Okay, let's say their activity is addition. So there is a, so 9 plus 3, that is 12. 1 plus 3, that is 4. 7 plus 9, it's 18. 9 plus 10, it's 19. 1 plus 7, it's 8. I know it's just a simple activity, okay? But if they repeatedly expose with these types of activity, they can improve their mental math. So they don't have to count with their fingers. They don't need real objects anymore when they add numbers. Apart from addition, they can also exercise using subtraction, multiplication, and division. because right now, just like what we use here in our country in the Philippines, we use modular instruction where we provide module to our students. Now we can supplement this module using these types of application. Of course, to avoid overwhelming activities, we need to provide this application to them one at a time. Let's say for their drill activity for this week, you need to practice your addition, and then you can also conduct an assessment. What is the level of the child? If they already master addition, or they only mastered subtraction, they can go ahead and start with multiplication or start with division. Although this is created for elementary students, I also understand some adults learner find it difficult to perform basic operations such as this. So you can also expose your high school students who have problem in numeracy to these types of drills. Okay, so they are learning but playing at the same time, because these materials are what we call edutainment apps. They are entertainment and subject for education at the same time. Okay. Now, the next app that I'm going to show you is the fraction circles. So this is one of the simulations that we can use to help our students understand fractions. Now, one way of learning fraction, and probably should be the foundation of learning fraction, is that our students need to visualize them. Okay, if they do not understand that a fraction is less than one, let's say for example this one, in here we have different parts of the fraction circles. So this one, they need to understand that one circle represents one whole. So if a fraction only covers half of it, therefore this fraction is less than one, and this is one half. Okay? They can also compare fractions using these materials, like if you're going to put 1/4 here, they can easily determine that one half is bigger than 1/4. And they need another half to complete this and make it a whole. So they can now understand that one whole is composed of two halves. Okay? By just simply looking at the fraction circle here, they can order fractions and they can sequence fractions. So this is one of the simulation games that we can use to help our students understand fraction. And this is just a basic, I know, but if you start teaching fractions and begin with the foundation of visualization, understanding it will understanding it for our students is more appealing. And right now, since they are more exposed with gadgets, there's still a way we can reach them. Okay, because if you stuck with your old ways in teaching fractions, like providing them pencil and paper activities, it might not be appealing to them anymore, because their generation, as I've said earlier, they are physiologically conditioned with application and mobile devices. So definitely this is a better way of introducing fractions using fraction circles. Okay? And then next, the final application for mobile application that I'm going to show you is, no, second to the final is the Khan Academy. Now, the Khan Academy is like the YouTube in mathematics. Okay? You can let your students watch educational videos on YouTube, but the problem is there are many distractions like ads, and then they can access also inappropriate videos. What's difference in Khan Academy is it's free and it provide instruction to students via video instruction, such as this one. Right now, I am enrolled in math 5th grade. You can choose your grade level. Okay, and now in 5th grade, these are the competencies that they can learn. So it starts from decimal place value intro, adding decimals, subtracting decimals, adding and subtracting fractions, multi-digit multiplication and division, multiplying fractions and dividing fractions, it has different competencies, and all of these competencies have their video lessons. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on a particular topic that they want to study, let's say decimal and place value. Now, it has video lesson, and then it has games. So let's say we will watch this. The place value.
Over here, this is the ones place. And if we move one space to the left of that, this is tens place. Notice we went from ones to tens. Tens are 10 times as much as ones. And then we move one space to...
Okay. And in this particular app, all the topics have their dedicated video to them. Okay. And it has part of the lesson. The first thing that they need to do is to watch the video, and then they can go ahead and go to the ready to practice. Okay, and then they can, let's go here and answer the place value names after watching the video. So it's structured. It's like it has lesson plan in itself. Okay, you don't have to worry with your lesson plan because it is structured already. So after watching the video for the introduction, they can start with the activity, which is place value names. It's a game, and then value a digit, and then decimal place value review. So it has practice and it has a review. Imagine how many competencies they can actually learn by themselves using these materials. So that is the Khan Academy. And this is not just for kids. Khan Academy is also available for high school students. It has structured topics in trigonometry, algebra, and a lot more, even in calculus. Khan Academy is available in different platforms. They can access Khan Academy directly in the website, but I advise you guys to install Khan Academy on your phone and use it as a reference for your lessons, or you can let your students explore it themselves. Like you can assign a topic, like for today, you need to view solid figures on Khan Academy. If you are enrolled in a particular class, such as this one, they can easily access those topics. So that is the Khan Academy. It's a simple app, but it's very helpful. I use this all the time on my lessons, even when everything is normal. I use this to present lessons to my students. Okay, and the last app that I'm going to show you is the Make It app. Okay, the Make It app is an app where it allows you to create your own games for your students. It allows you contextualize your activities, and it allows you to create your own material. So let's say it's just like a PowerPoint presentation. It's easy to navigate. So you create new, and then math one, you name it, and then just click create. Okay, and then you choose a template, and then you can choose an activity right here. Okay, so let's say my activity is just a matching type activity. Right there, click add here. And then here, you can contextualize it by adding your own images. It has different options like on the left or add element on the right. And then it has its own gallery. Like in here, I will add numbers from the Make It Images gallery. It has numbers. And then it also has number sentences that your students can use. So let's say, in addition, I will choose 1 plus 3. Now, 1 plus 3 will be added here. And then if I will choose other given, like this one, 1 plus 9, there. And then in here, let's add another one, 1 plus 0. And then here, let's add another one. It's 1 plus 8. Okay, now the answer, you can place the answer here. Like this one, the target here is letter A. Okay, that's the answer. So the answer here is you look for the answer in the Make It Images gallery and look for the number that you would like to connect. And then in here, it's number 10. It's easy to use. And then you can share it by code to your students. Okay, Make It Images gallery, that's 1. And then in here, you can also insert another image, make it images gallery. It's 9. It's like creating your own games for your students. Now you can change the targets like this one. The target here is C. Okay, so it will be connected to letter C. And then right here, the target here is 9. So you can connect it to 9. To preview your lesson, you can go ahead and preview it. This is how they can see it on their screen, on their mobile device. So this one, it's very easy to use. And then you can also use their own pictures here. You can contextualize the material. Okay, so that's how it works. And then how to save it. So you can go ahead and just go back to the material after previewing it. Okay, and then just go to home. Okay, but if you want to add other more activities, it has option here. And then if you want to delete certain activities, just delete it here. Okay, and then you can add up until 50 slides, 50 activities, and then just go to home. Okay, this is your activity. And then you can you can click your activity and share it to your students via code. So if they also have this particular app in their cell phones, they can access it via link, or you can provide the code. They just type in the code and they can play the game already. Unfortunately, this material is only available if they have internet in their house, so they can access the material itself. So that is the Make It app for the mobile applications. I'm sorry guys, because I committed mistakes early. At the same time, I'm looking on the application. So please bear with me. Now, simulation games. So this is the final one. Okay. Now, in the simulation games, guys, we have hundreds of simulation games that we can access using the FET Sims. So just click the FET Sim. Just go ahead and visit FET Sims. So just type in FET Sims on your mobile device, on your browser, and then just type in FET Sims on your browser, and you will be redirected to fet.colorado.edu. This is also available in the link that I provided in the document. Now, you can choose your subject here. So let's say we have math, and these are the simulation games that you can use. These simulation games can be used using cell phone if you have installed Chrome browser, and you can also use this app for your laptop, just like this one. Let's say I will download this particular app in math, the Area Builder. So just click. Okay. After clicking on it, it is available for download as HTML. So just any internet connection. Okay. So right after that, if you don't know how to use this particular simulation, it has video here, but you need to create an account to do that. It's for free, by the way, for you to access the PDF file and the video file on how to use it. Now, I already downloaded it, so I'm going to show you now the applications that I already downloaded. So the first I downloaded is the interactive simulation in the introduction of fractions. Okay, so this one, it can also work in your mobile devices, but make sure that you are using Chrome as your browser on your. So right here, it has 3 parts. The first one is the introduction. I use this for my online classes, okay, when I try to explain what is a fraction game, and it also has the lab. In the introduction, this is very simple. So this one, these colored pieces here represents my denominator. And this this one represents this circle here, this empty circle here represents my denominator, and this one represents my numerator. And then you can represent fraction in different forms. This one is a fraction circle, this one is a fraction bar, this one is a cylinder, or if you want to make it realistic, this is a cake. Okay, now let's say I will add 1. This one will result to 1 over 1. So that means this is equivalent to 1 whole. Now, if I want to teach halves to my students, how to construct halves, I can go ahead and divide my denominator into 2 parts. Now, when I put 1 here, that is 1/2. And then if I will put another 1 here, that is 2 halves, which is equivalent to 1 whole. Okay, now let's say I will teach thirds. So you can simply demonstrate what is a 1/3 or demonstrate what is a 2/3. And always tell them that one circle represents 1 whole. So 3 over 3 is equivalent to 1. Now we can also use, want to teach mixed fractions to our students. So I have 2 fractions here. Let's say this one. Now, than a denominator, then this is an improper fraction. Meanwhile, if a fraction has greater denominator than a numerator, they can now realize that this is less than 1 and this is a proper fraction. So after understanding the introduction in fraction, you can go ahead and play with them, okay? Or they can use this material. So it has 2 options. The first game is it will present fractions here on the sides, and then they need to show the figure that will represent this one. So I have here 2 halves, so they can do that, and they can place it here, and that is the correct answer. And then if this one is 2/3, they need to show it here. That's 2/3. Okay, and this is 1/3. They will cut it into 3 slots, and then this is 1/3. Now, if you are working on a particular competency, you can go to the lab, because in the lab, you can maximize the numbers that you will use. You can decide what number they need to, what particular fraction they need to represent. Like, for example, this one, you want them to understand how to put it in figures 3/4. Okay, so in here, you can slice it into quarters. And then you can go, they can go ahead here, how to represent 3/4. This is a very helpful tool, not just for math teachers, but also for science teachers. We have hundreds and thousands of simulations for mathematics and science that you can use using PhET sims. Okay? And they are for free. In fact, guys, you can incorporate them with your materials. You can incorporate them with your materials. Like if you want to create video lessons, you can go ahead and screen record this material and present them to your students. I know, guys, most of the material that I presented tonight are for elementary school teachers, but if you have students who are struggling when it comes to numeracy, you can also use this material for them. Okay, and then we should make advantage of this because we need to be critical, we need to be creative, especially now that we are in the middle of pandemic and we're and there's no face-to-face instruction with our students. So you can go ahead and visit PhET today and start downloading all the simulations that you can use. The ones I presented, the one I presented is just very simple. It has for algebra, it has for trigonometry, and a lot more. Now, before I will end my presentation, I want you to leave this one, this quote. The most dangerous phrase in language is, "We've always done it this way." Now, perhaps one of the most profound effects of thinking out of the box is that it will help you stay adaptable. Your mind would be closed off to new ideas or solutions or situations, and therefore you'll be better able to navigate the ever changing landscape of education. So always remember, as teachers, we need to think out of the box and maximize the use of technology and the available resources that we have. Besides, even if our students do not have Wi-Fi connection, we can still bring technology in their homes. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you so much, Sir Manuelito, the pride of Tarlaqueño, for a very informative and comprehensive presentation. I know for sure our listeners benefit from this. Excellent sharing, sir. Thank you. And to our participants, you can type your questions. They will answer all your queries later. And don't forget to forward all the online webinar organized by IGP to our community or group on Facebook. So thank you. Now let's call on our second speaker. He is also an educator, a master teacher, and presently the OIC head teacher in a non-school in Cabanatuan, Philippines. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Education, major in Mathematics at Nueva Ecija University Science and Technology, cum laude. He incurred 11 years in the teaching profession. He'll be sharing with us how to teach mathematics through calculator. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Lionel M. Castro. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you po. Thank you po, Sir, Sir Nashka. Thank you po. So, good evening, everyone. And I'm now about to talk to you about teaching mathematics through calculator. I would like this session to be interactive, but because of the platform that we are using, so I may not be able to do that, but let us maximize what we have this evening. So let us start. Okay. So I want you to do a drill when whatever calculator you have at your hands right now.
Sir Nestor. I think our trainer lost. He lost his network connection. Please inform him, sir. Dear participants, just wait. Give us some few minutes to get the speaker again.
Okay. Okay. I think we're on again. So some technical problems have. Okay, sir. Sir Nestor, are we done
Okay,
for?
go ahead, sir. It's your turn.
Okay, let us continue. So why use calculator? First, calculators are helpful for doing computations when the numbers are beyond mental arithmetic. So will it hinder the development of skill in mathematics for our students? Later on during our discussion, you decide for yourself whether the use of calculator will hinder the development of skills or mathematical skills of our students. You can answer that question later for yourself. Now, calculators are also helpful for doing computations where there involve many computations. Now, mathematical ideas are not yet firmly learned, so you have to use calculator. Um, when are we going to let our students use calculator? The calculator in itself is not bad nor good. It is just a tool. Okay, right there you go. I think you did not see my presentation earlier, right? Okay. Can you see it now? So Nessa, can you see it? Can you see my presentation now? Okay. There you go. Okay. So the calculator in itself is not bad nor good. It is just a tool. Now, children should learn their basic facts before using calculator. Before we let our students or our children, for the parents, to use calculator, the children should learn their basic facts before using calculator. Okay, now for this discussion, we are going to focus on how to use calculator in teaching mathematics. Integrating calculator in teaching is not teaching the students to become lazy. No, mathematical content is needed to maximize the features of calculators. Again, calculators are just tool. Calculators are just tool for computation. The mathematical content and concept is up to the students. Calculators, when used alongside the comprehensive mathematics curriculum, increase the quality and quantity of student learning. Now, for this discussion, I'm going to use the emulator of Casio Scientific Calculator Class Viz, but as a disclaimer, I am not in any way connected to Casio company. It just happens that in one of our training, they gave us the installer of this emulator. So I'm going to use this for this discussion. Okay. So thank you, Casio, for giving us a free trial version of this emulator. Okay, so this is the interface of the Casio ClassWiz calculator, and whatever calculator you use, I think they all have the same interface. Scientific calculators and even scientific calculators in your laptops and in your cell phones or smartphones have this interface. Okay, now how are we going to use calculator in teaching number sense? Let us start in kinder, grade 1, grade 2, teaching students the number sense. How are you going to do that? Multiplication, division. Now, let us have a basic calculator here. So you can teach your students the concept of number sense, of multiplication. Say, for example, 7 plus 7, then keying in the equal sign repeatedly will give you the multiples of 7. So you can use this as a drill for the students. Another, when you want to introduce the concept of negative numbers in your students, you can start a drill using calculator wherein, let's say, for example, you have 123, and then you subtract 8 from it. So when you key in the equal sign repeatedly, it will subtract 8 repeatedly. So as they push the equal button from 3, you will have negative 5. So in that sense, the students will have a perception of what negative numbers are. Okay? So you can use your calculator in drills. Okay? Now, another, fractions, decimals, and percentage. Just like what Sir Manuelito said earlier, many of their students have a difficult time in learning fractions, and then you mix it up with decimals, and you mix it up with percentage, and also some teachers have difficult time in visualizing this one. Now, by using calculators, we can enrich, we can enhance, we can reinforce those students who have difficulties in dealing with fractions. Okay. So for example, what is 631 over 11 expressed as mixed number? So if you do this in longhand method, so you just um, divide 631 by 11. How many 11 are there in 631? And then you get the remainder. That's it. Now, in using calculator, all you have to do is to key in this keys and you will have your answer. I will show you the emulator of the Casio class Viz. So in this case, we have 631. So you just type in your calculator 631 divided by over 11, and then hit the equal button. So you have this one. Now, 631, then try shift and then SD. So you have 57 and 4 over 11. So that is the mixed number representation of 631 over 11. So you can use your emulator when presenting to your students and checking their answers when you see when you discuss about mixed numbers and improper fractions. Okay, next. How much is 12 over 0.2 plus 15 over 0.5? Okay, so in our normal solution, you will do this like this one. Okay, so 120 over 2 plus 150 over 5. You have the similar fractions. Okay, so you simplify 60 plus 30 equals 90. So in using the calculator, you just key in the numbers. So that is 12. Then the denominator is 0.2 plus, again, fraction, 15. Then key in the denominator, which is 0.5. And you will get your answer, which is 90. Again, this is just for reinforcement. And later on, you will learn when to use the calculator more efficiently. Okay? Problem number 3. Mr. Manuelito Montoya also state this earlier. Gave example for percentage. And in our quiz, in our FB Live, there are questions using percentage also. So express 27.5% as a simple fraction. So in our calculator, you just key in 27. Okay. So shift, then for mixed numbers, so 27 and 1/2%. So the percent is there. Percent. So that is 11 over 40. If you want this in decimal form, just push this button, S to D, okay, standard to decimal notation to standard notation, okay? So 11 over 40, okay? So that is how you use calculators in teaching fraction, decimals, and percentage. Now, another important lesson in elementary mathematics is prime factors. Prime factors are used in getting the least common denominator, the greatest common factor, the least common multiple. So there are many concepts in mathematics where you use these prime factors. Now, it's very easy to get the prime factors of small numbers, but what if you have very large numbers? Say, for example, so this is some calculators like Casio ClassWiz has a factorial button. Okay? Halimbawa, example, I'm speaking in Tagalog. I'm used to speaking in Tagalog, sorry. So, problem number 4. Give the prime factors of 385. So, in our normal solution, you will just get the factors of 385, say 5 and 77. Then you get the factors of 77, which is 7 and 11. And then you have your prime factors. So 5 times 7 times 11. Now, using your calculator, you can just key in this one and then push on the factorial button, and then it will give you the prime factors. I'll show you. 385, okay, equals, then we have the factorial button. So 5 times 7 times 11. Now, how are we going to use this further? Say, for example, you are asked to give the prime factors of 2020. So for elementary students, this will be a little bit difficult for them. Okay, giving the prime factors of 2020. Again, For normal solution, it will be 2 times 1010, 1010, 505, 2 and 505. Then you have 5 times 101. So you have your prime factors, which is 2 squared times 5 times 101. But in your calculator, you just key in 2020 equals, then shift, and then factor button, and then you have your answer. I'll show you again. So you have 2020, hit the equal sign, okay? Hit the shift button and then the factor button. So you have 2 squared times 5 times 101. And that would be the prime factors of 2020. Again, application is important. So that leads us to this problem number 6. How many divisors does 98 have? How many divisors does 98 have? How many divisors does 98 have? 1 and 98, 2 and 49, 7 and 14. Now, how are we going to use the features of a calculator or the prime factors in determining the number of divisors? Okay, it has 6 divisors. Now, let us find the prime factors of 98 using our calculator. So that is 98. Okay, shift, factor button. So you have 2 times 7 squared, right? So 2 times 7 squared. So the prime factors of 98 are 2 and 7 squared. So 2 and 7 squared. Now, what you need to do now is to add 1 to every exponent of the prime factors. So the exponent of 2 is 1, and the exponent of 7 is 2. So add 1 to each of the exponent. You have 2 and 3. Then multiply it. That will be the number of factors of 98. Now, any other example of this one? Yes. Let's do another one. Okay. How many factors does 2,400 have? Again, if you list down all the factors of 2,400 have, it will consume time for students. Okay. Now, but if you are going to use your calculator, you have 2,400, and then you will have the prime factor, which is 2 raised to 5 times 3 times 5 squared. So again, add 1 to the exponent of each prime factor. You have, okay, you have 6 times 2 times 3. So 6 times 2 times 3 is simply 36. That means 2,400 has 36 factors. If you do that by listing method, it will consume so much time in your class or in your tutorial session or whatever you're doing in discussing this number of factors. Again, that is how you apply the prime factors and the feature of a calculator in determining the number of factors. Okay, now another application and another topic in mathematics where we can use calculator in teaching mathematics is algebraic expressions. So some calculators have this feature, which is the store button, okay, or the store function. So how are we going to use the store function? Say, for example, you are asked to evaluate a squared b plus ab squared if a is equal to 3 and b is equal to negative 2/5. So by normal solution, so you substitute the values of a and b. So for a, you have 3, and for b, you have negative 2/5. So that is 3 squared minus 2/5 plus 3 times negative 2/5 squared, which gives you this one, and then negative 18 over 5 plus 12 over 25. That is negative 90 plus 12 over 25, or negative 78 over 25. So that is how you do it in your normal calculations computation. But using your calculator, all you have to do is to store the values for A and for B, and then typing in your equation or your algebraic expression in this case, and then hitting the equal sign, and you will have your answer. How are we going to do that? I'll show you the actual process. So we have, for A, we have 3. So we key in 3, and then we hit store for A. So A is above that negative sign. So now, in your calculator, the value of A is 3. Another, that is negative 2/5. So negative 2/5. So key in your calculator negative 2/5. Then store in B. Okay? That means the value of A for this case is 3, and for B is negative 2/5 in our calculator. Now, we just hit the buttons to type in our expression. So we have A squared, then B plus A B squared. Okay. Then hit the equal sign, and it will give you the value, which is negative 78 over 25, same as the long hand method answer. Okay. Another example. This is very common to mathematics competition, wherein some of the questions are like this. If A asterisk B is defined as 2A, quantity 2A raised to B minus B raised to A, what is the value associated with 7 asterisk 6? So that means our A is 7 and our B is 6. So using the calculator, again, you are going to store the value for A and B, and then typing in your expression, and it will give you the answer, which is 7,249,600. Now, again, when are we going to use this one? Before teaching the students the process of evaluating algebraic expressions? No, as I've said earlier, you are going to let your students use calculator if the concept of mathematical skill you want to develop are intact. They already learned the skill. Then let them use and let them explore with calculators. Okay? Algebraic equations. In some calculators, they cannot solve algebraic equations. But for most of the calculators nowadays, they can solve algebraic equations, because most of the calculators nowadays have this function, the calculate function. Okay? Example. If negative 4, quantity x minus 1 is equal to 5x minus 14, what is x? So this is a simple linear equation. By solving this, you just have to isolate the value of x. You have 18 is equal to 9x, so x is equal to 2. Now, in your calculator, all you have to do is to type in this equation, okay, and it will give you the answer, same as the answer in your um, evaluation of linear equations. I'll show you. So this is negative 4, okay, times x. X is here. It's in red. So you hit shift alpha x minus 1 quantity. Then you're not going to use this equal sign. You are going to use the equal sign above here. There. So shift alpha equal sign 5 shift alpha x minus 14. And then you hit shift solve, okay, and then hit the equal sign. So you have x is equal to 2. It will give you the correct answer. Now, again, let the student explore the use of the calculator when you have already developed in them their skill in solving linear equations. Not only linear equations, exponential equations can be solved using calculators. Say, for example, if 2 raised to x minus 5 is equal to 3 cubed, so what is x? So again, by our computation here, so x is equal to 5. Now, for our calculator solution, so you just hit 2 raised to x minus 5 is equal to, oh no, no, sorry, 2 raised to x minus 5 is equal to 3 cube. Okay, and then hit solve. Okay, so x is equal to 5. You will have the same answer. So when are we going to use this? In checking if the answer of the students are correct, in checking when you're giving examples, when you're planning your lesson plan, you're doing your lesson plan, you check your answers by using this calculator, this feature of the calculator. Okay, some of the calculators also today, like Casio ClassWiz, can also solve rational algebraic expressions like this one. Okay, so RAE can be solved using this calculator. So again, all you have to do is to key in the equation and then hit the calc button, then equal sign, it will give you the same answer as if you are solving it the normal way. Okay? Now, there are many other functions of the calculator that I can show you. Say absolute value function, the Casio ClassWiz can solve absolute value function, polynomial functions, logarithms, the equations in trigonometry can be solved, and even statistics, it has statistical functions. But I do not want to dwell on the function of the calculator itself. Why? I want us to realize what are the benefits of using calculator in teaching mathematics. That is the topic, not the calculator itself, but how are we going to benefit from using calculator in our teaching? I will admit that on my first years of teaching, I do not allow my students to use calculator. Um, I want them to compute and compute manually, mentally. But when I attended a seminar, a training, and one of the speakers made me realize that why not? Why not let the students use calculator since they already know the process, and then you are doing so many computations, very large numbers, very small numbers. Why not let them use calculator? So what are the benefits of using calculator? First, it can be used to develop concepts. Like what I showed you earlier, it can be used to develop the concept of number sense, the concept of negative numbers. You just have to find a way on how are you going to integrate the use of calculator in your lesson, in drills, in practice exercises. You can let them use this calculator to develop the concepts you need to develop in them. Can be used for drill, like what I said. There are many activities. You can search the internet for different activities that use calculators in drills, in establishing the mathematical skills or mathematical concepts you want to deliver, not just for elementary students, but also for high school students, for secondary students, senior high school students, and even college students. Another, it can enhance problem solving. When we let our students solve word problems, what are we expecting from them? We are expecting from them that they will apply their knowledge or their mathematical skills. They already know the skill. They already know the algorithm. All they need to do is to apply what they've learned in, say, real life situation, in word problems. So let them use calculators in their computation. It can enhance their problem solving skills. Why burden them in the manual and mental calculations where they have their calculators just beside them? Next, it can save time. Again, the goal is for the students to apply what they've learned, to apply the skills. Now, if your exercises or your activity requires numerous computations, it can save time by using calculator. And lastly, calculator is very effective when used appropriately. I repeat, calculators are very effective when used appropriately. You have to plan, you have to think when to integrate the use of calculator in your lessons. So it is very effective when used appropriately. Those are the benefits of using calculator in teaching mathematics. Gone are the days when you will say to your students, do not use calculator because calculator will make you lazy, will not develop your mathematical skill. No, they have their calculators in their smartphones, in their laptops, in their pockets. You have pocket calculators, you have scientific calculators. Let them use this. In some articles that I've read, it says this very common tool. Why not let the students use this very common tool to help them understand the mathematical skills and to help them develop the mathematical skills they needed? Okay po. So in this topic, these are the references, these are the people that um, made this possible. Some parts of the presentations are from them, okay, from Casio Philippines, okay, from different schools, and special thanks to Sir Dennis Santillan, Division of Tarlac Province, and Sir Ubaldo A. Soriano, which is my partner usually in discussing this type of topics. So this topic is Mr. Ubaldo Soriano is my partner. So thank you. And before I end this session, so we can move on to our question and answer. Mathematics is not about numbers. It's not about equations. It's not about computations. It's not about algorithms. Mathematics is about understanding. Why will you need the students to be good in numbers, in equations, in computations, in algorithms? Yet they cannot apply those computations and algorithms. So according to William Paul Thurston, mathematics is not about numbers. It is not about equations, computations, algorithms. It is about understanding. Let us teach mathematics wherein our students will understand what we are teaching. And if calculator will help us to do the job, then so be it. So again, thank you very much. And it is nice and it is my pleasure to speak with you about this topic of teaching mathematics through calculator. So good night, everyone. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Sir Lionel. This is a very difficult topic. Again, thank you so much, Sir Lionel. This is a very difficult topic, especially solving problem using calculator. But Sir Lionel made it easy. Uh, Good job, sir. There are competencies in math that we can make use of with the aid of this gadget. Our lessons become boring if we always use the same strategies. In Region 3, we are advocating the so-called I love numbers to encourage our learners to listen attentively. The sharing of the two speakers tonight encourages our teachers to innovate, to find and discover more ways so that our teaching and learning becomes more meaningful. Thank you, Sir Lionel and Sir Manuelito, for this beautiful sharing. So, there are questions that you are going to answer.
I can see a question here. The question is, how can we incorporate these learnings in modular learners? As I've said earlier, you have two options. The first one is use them in online class, and then the other one is use them as offline learning support. Let's say, for instance, you have modules provided by parents. You can provide these materials during the distribution to the parents via offline sharing apps such as Bluetooth and Share It, and then align them with the frequencies you are tackling on your module. Just like what I presented in the 3D shapes. Right now, in third quarter, our topics is on 3D figures. So we can provide the 3D with augmented reality for them to explore more the 3D shapes, the vertices, the edges, and the faces. So these materials can be used as supplementary learning materials for the students. And one major positive advantage of this is that they do not require internet connection, so they can use them offline, and we can motivate our students for consistent participation and long-term engagement using these different applications. Another question from Mardi Tibus Garde. What are the specified mobile applications in math don't need internet connectivity? Majority of the applications I presented earlier, ma'am, are available offline. Apart from the Khan Academy that requires internet connection because it has videos. But the good thing about Khan Academy is after you have the option to download the videos so you can make use of offline videos at the same time. But the rest of the application I presented earlier are available offline. Okay, the next. Would you like to answer this, sir? Sir Leon?
So when they heard the word mathematics, they already said that it is stressful. So how can we make it a little bit enjoyable and interesting for students that find it hard? So just like what Sir Manuelito says, we can incorporate these applications, these mobile applications, since our students nowadays are more active in mobile applications. Um, the use of calculators, they there are also activities that you can find in some resources wherein there are fun activities using calculators. But more importantly, um, I have learned that the teacher factor in teaching mathematics has a very great effect on students. One of my teachers says the greatest mathematics teachers are the teachers who always smile. So again, just like in your question, Ma'am Charlene Ignacio Tubig, so when they heard the word mathematics, they already said that it is stressful. So don't let you as a mathematics teacher add to that stress and be a terror mathematics teacher. You know what I mean, ma'am. Sir Manuelito.
Okay, sir. And another thing is the strategy of gamification. As I've said earlier, we can incorporate game elements to non-game contexts, like the activities we provide in mathematics. With the use of the different applications, definitely we can make it more stress-free learning mathematics to our students.
Okay, from Mom Christina La, what specific grade level in which calculators will be introduced to the learners? Um, based on my readings, ma'am, you can start as early as kinder. The use of calculators, just use it appropriately and timely. The use of the calculator must be timely. Means you have to develop first the skill before you let them use the calculator. Okay, let them understand first, and then use the tool, because calculator is a tool. It is a tool to help them to enhance the learning. So again, you can start as early as kinder, but there are some debates from scholars that you should not let kinder primary students use calculator and so on. But again, it depends on how you use the calculator as a tool. Ma'am Jen Shobal, yes, ma'am. You can use other brand of scientific calculator. Again, as a disclaimer, I am not part of Casio Philippines or Casio Company. This happens that the emulator I have is the free trial version of the Casio classes. That is why I use that as an example. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, question from Sir Richard Kayabyab. To Sir Manny, any suggested app for statistics and probability? Thank you. Sir, as I've said earlier, I'm an elementary school teacher, so most of the materials I presented are fitted more on elementary teachers. But definitely there are certain applications in Google Play that you can use for your statistics class and probability. The Khan Academy offers different learning courses from kindergarten to senior high school students. So you can do checking on their web browser, on your web browser on their website, khanacademy.com. And you can also explore other apps because the Khan Academy app has different versions, like versions for kindergarten students, version for elementary learners, and version for adult learners. So what I recommend is check the application Khan Academy on Google Play, and you can also check it on their website. From Sir Lauren Liwanag, what are the advantages and disadvantages of math apps and the use of calculators? Of course, as I've said, everything is good in moderation. We need to be very particular with the applications that we recommend to parents. Make sure that these materials are suited to the level of our learners, because if they are not um, um, congruent to the needs of the learners, it will create more harm than help. So we need to be cautious in recommending applications, and we need to make assessment first. Like, for example, the need of the child is the basic of arithmetic operation. So you cannot expose the child on multiplication right away. It needs to start from the foundation. So we just have to be careful, assess them, assess the application, what works and what not, and then also collaborate with the parents, that when we give applications, it's one at a time. We do not give them 10 applications. It's too overwhelming for a child to work on those materials.
Okay. Sir Lauren, for the calculator, the use of calculator, there is a specific study using calculators wherein they conducted a pretest, and then they let the students use calculator in their lessons, and then the post test shows a lower score than the pretest. So what happens? The students rely more on the use of calculators. Again, just like what Sir Manuelito said, everything should be in moderation. The advantages of using calculators are the benefits that I stated earlier. It can save time, it can be used for drill, it can develop concept, but when used inappropriately, then the disadvantages will come out. Okay. Sir, can you give po topics about calculator that can be used in research? There are several topics that you can um, research on using calculators. Again, say for example, a specific topic, you want to test the efficacy or the efficiency of using calculator for the topic, you can do that as an action research, as a thesis maybe, a dissertation, whatever. There are many research topics or researches published in the internet, in the legit research websites that you can browse now for research topics about calculators.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Before before say anything, I want to show something to the participants. Actually, that is, when I asked the participants, then what should be the next academic topics you should cover, we should cover. Then lots of participants tell them they need academic more topics, and some also already told that they need matrix webinar again. So I'd love to request Dr. Nestor, Sir Nestor, is it possible to arrange a session, another session like matrix? Because you guys are the boss of math. I told it that earlier before the event or before the live. I told it that. So I think it's a request for on behalf of the participants that we should arrange a webinar with the matrix. And one thing is that I want to show something that is what is this is the next webinar, our next webinar. And before we move the over to you, Mr. Nestor.
Okay, sir, before we go, I would like to thank to our participants tonight. Thank you for being with us for 2 hours. And of course, to our speakers, you deserve a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And spend the night with a smile. God bless.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much, sirs, for your beautiful presentation and obviously your time. Because I already I told that before live that I'm so much weak in math also. So your tools and your techniques, I can implement in also my life. So I focus on the comment section. I saw that lots of comments. They are really happy with your presentation and with your mobile apps application also and use of calculator also. So it's a great honor to have with you for 2 hours at least. But what to do? Time to time. If possible, then we'll arrange another session with you guys. And definitely it was a great time. It was a great time for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, before I move for the next, you know that this is the same procedure as well as the previous. You have to click on the same link, and this is the certification link which I already shared with you and already shared in the comment box also. So you can click on the link and I pin the link in comment section. This is certification link, and for this you certification you don't need any code. You can try it without code, so no issue about that. It's a similar process for every webinar. Just give me a moment to open the code. It's now locked, but give me few seconds or give me 1 minute. Already too much user. I already shared the link in comment section. So here is the next part. For today's certificates, participants are requested to log in www.eduigp.com and link also share in comment box. Today's class code, actually class code is not required. And you can verify your certificate from anytime, anywhere, and you can also download the previous webinar certificates with attending the session. And if anyone wants to join our team, actually it's a volunteer work, then we are looking for global volunteer, the post of graphics designer and video editor. We're looking for global volunteer, post graphics designer, and post editor, and post video editor. Those who are looking for this, I think you can join with us as a team member. And our next webinar, which is held on March 28 at the same time, and the topic most attractive gender and social capital building in education. It's also a part of education related webinar. So again in the same time, and again I want to thank our speakers and especially Sir Nestor for arranging the session. And this is most engageable session I saw that. And if you have any kinds of problem during this claim certificate, so you can contact with our page inbox, so no problem at all, and we are always want to serve you. And it's a request, it's a cordial request that we arrange free webinar and we collect speakers from globally. We just want to focus one thing, that is, if we serve someone with better quality education, then it's some of your responsibility to feedback. So I think if our webinars helps you a little bit and it's look or it seems useful to you, then it's a request, it's a cordial request. Write a review in our Facebook page review section, and if possible, then recommend the page into your community. You can tag IGP, Institute of Global Professionals. You can tag in Facebook, then it becomes more helpful return for us. Thank you so much. See you again in the next session, March 28th March, at the same time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. UTC +6. Thank you. Thank you so much.